My name is Amy Petersen. I live in Bluegrass, Iowa, and my husband and I run a 350, 120 cow dairy operation. Well, when I was quite young, so when I was like 5 and 6, my parents were already doing conservation tillage, which at that point in time in the early 60s, nobody was doing that. And so I was aware of that then already. And because my dad had been in World War II and all the chemical usage in World War II and everything, they were very hesitant to do very much of that. I say that we are not organic, and I do stress that because this is not about the bad guys, the us and them. That is not what this is about. It's about minimizing the impact of the tools that we have available, the technology that we have available. We cannot feed the world without it. We cannot feed ourselves without it. But in the process of doing those things, we want to be as kind to the resources that are giving us life as we can.
My name is Dana Schweitzer, and I work here on campus at Iowa State University. I am currently the program coordinator for the Iowa Monarch Conservation Consortium, so I'm working in the Department of Entomology, helping with monarch and milkweed research. I nominated my mom, Amy, for the Women Impacting the Land Award this year because when I saw the award information, I was really excited to see that conservation was being highlighted. And that is something that has always been important to both of my parents, and especially my mom. In all of the years that she's been involved in the business, having lost her own father at the age of 10, she's taken it upon herself to learn about many of the day-to-day operations. She's helping make hay, driving the tractor, so she's involved in some of the day-to-day activities, as well as the larger decisions about how they're utilizing their resources, being able to partner with NRCS for cover crops, water quality projects. That's always been very important to her because conservation was very important to both of her parents. So I thought it was a really excellent fit in terms of the priorities on the farm and the way that she's made those decisions as a landowner all of these years. I think for both of my parents, my mom especially, not only has it been important to be consistent in their efforts regarding conservation as landowners, but also to be actively engaged in the community. My mom and my dad both as longtime 4-H volunteers. That's something that's very important to them, and I know something that they really enjoy, as well as being active in the farm.
So this is now a heritage farm. So it has been in the family for 150 years. It has been passed from mother to daughter for the last 4 generations, which couldn't happen in every state because Iowa very early on allowed women to own property, and not every place did that. And so when they had some financial difficulties, my great-great-grandmother stepped up to the plate, went in, solved the problem with the finances, and then sold it to her daughter, who then sold it to my mother, who then passed it on to me. I did inherit about 1/3 of it, but the rest of it I bought from my siblings. So it's never just been an inheritance, but it has gone from mother to daughter for 4 generations. At this point in my life, on my farm, I now feel like the generations that came in front of me, because they reached an age where they were not as actively involved, but they knew so much that they were still the eyes and the heart. And they kept track to make sure that people were safe and that things got done. And they knew when to say, there's a problem, you need an extra pair of hands. And I am in the midst of transitioning to that. Some days that makes me feel very old. Some days that makes me feel not wise, but learned. And it's an interesting place to be in life. I could never have done this without my partner. It really was a gift of love on both of our parts to make this place, this little space, the best that it could be. And it is all about not the talents of one of us, but the talents of both of us that allowed that to happen. And I would wish that gift for more couples. That's not to say it's always easy, but the richness that comes from that is just irreplaceable. So, hats off to my partner.